Alright, geometry, let's skip forward and do lesson 12-5, circles in the coordinate plane. So there is your equation of a circle in a coordinate plane. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. You will recognize the x minus h squared, and you should recognize the k. That's vertex of a parabola. So in this instance, hk is what we are going to call the center of the circle. R obviously has to be the radius. So when you are solving these, one thing about it, this is always going to be minus h. Unless this was a negative, then it would turn it to a plus. Okay, so just want to clarify that. If those are negative points, it would return those into a positive points. So let's write it out. X, this is h, k, obviously that's r. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals r squared, which I'm going to write as 36. Okay, I'm going to put a little note up on top. That's where I got the 36. Done. That's all it's to those. Okay. So these ones here, let's say I want to write the equation that goes through the center and a point. So I need to find my radius. Okay, I need to find what my r is. That's going to be the big, huge thing. So if this right here, let's say this is my center, and this is a point on the outside of the circle. Well, isn't it from the center to the point? Isn't that your radius? Okay, so if we have our circle here, center to a point, that's your radius. So to find this length, guess what comes back when it deals with length? The distance formula. So I'm going to say my r equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared, y2 minus y1 squared. So I'll plug in. x2 minus x1, 4 minus 2 squared, which is, I'll just write it out, 2 squared, plus 6 minus 3 squared, 3 squared. That's 4 plus 9, which equals root 13. So now I know what my radius is. My radius is root 13. So let's write the equation now. Okay, we got the center there, and we got the point. So let's write the equation. Y equals x minus h squared, y minus k squared, equals, I should have put r squared there. This is r squared, so it'll be root 13 squared. Well, what's root 13 squared? Just 13. 13 equals x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared. Done. So not anything difficult, nothing you haven't done a ton of before. One last thing, they're going to ask you to find the center and radius. So whenever you pull things out of parentheses, remember back to algebra, for some of you to algebra 2, whenever you pull something out of parentheses, you flip the sign. So this case here, my center is going to be, flip the sign on that, negative 6. Flip the sign on that, positive 3. So there's my center. What's my radius? It's going to be the square root of 16. Because remember, this is r squared. Okay, I'll do a side note there. What's the square root of 16? 4. Done. I just found my center and my radius. And that's all I'm going to have you do today. And these are on ACTs. I saw a problem like that on last year's ACT, so I wanted to make sure I definitely covered it. Plus, you're going to see it in pre-calc and a little bit in calculus if you go on further. So there it is. Lesson 12-5, circles in the coordinate planes.